Oof. That's right. That's right. We're back. Well, good morning and good evening, boys and girls. How are we all doing today? Yeah. Yeah, that is life, isn't it? Absolutely, absolutely. My boy was just talking about how he managed to. Oh, what is this? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So, as I talked about in the Discord, but I haven't yet talked about on stream, is that apparently we've been flying over a Japan that was not optimized because in my infinite wisdom or lack thereof, I thought the game would automatically update with the world. Oh my god, no, don't do this to me. Oh no, don't do this to me. 1 second. Oh no. Okay, I'll fix this. 1 second. I'll fix as I talk. Yes. Essentially, the point I'm laboriously trying to get to is that I made a hash of it because I thought that the game would update itself, but it didn't. So we've been flying over a Japan that was not really the best experience. So our sponsor has been asking for his money back, which of course we can't allow that. No. But what we can allow is we're gonna actually go and check out Japan again properly in such a way that it's not silly. How's the stream, by the way? Because I occasionally will get a stutter on my end, but if you guys are alright, then we should be good. I'm pressing L. Excuse me. Okay. Give me 1 second. So yeah, obviously, Microsoft Flight Simulator just updated itself, and so it apparently updated itself in such a way that I have now no idea how things work. Is this not the elevator access? That was disabled before, so that's why I got confused. So let's try this again. Well, disengage the parking brakes. Excellent. Well, thank you a lot for laughing at me. That really does mean a lot. Because who else would you laugh at, really, in this day and age, right? Oh, and the landing gear is automatic. That feels decadent. Flaps up. Oh, and trim is now on the stick. Very nice. Okay, so now we're going to go a little bit higher, and we're going to look at essentially the same types of places where we were at before. Oh, I'm not landing. It's okay. And right off the bat, I think we can see that Narita Airport itself is a little bit excuse me. Hello. Yeah. I have absolutely no idea. I think I don't know. Don't laugh at me. Okay, wait. No, let me rephrase that. Don't laugh at me too much. the fact. Hold on, I need to change this. Like control trimming. I want this to be, and then no. Key combination. Okay, and now validate. And then trim nose down, and then left up, and then validate. Oh, wait. Line safe, yes. Because the trim was getting like in the way of the camera. Oh, that's not gonna work. Because that's still going to. Wait, what? Really? It's still gonna do elevation? Oh. Okay. We're gonna have to reset this. My bad. Just bear with me. Once we get all of this worked out, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. What do? No. We'll do nose up. We'll still do the right, I guess. But see, it didn't do that for the cam. It didn't take over camera input, which is really weird. Anyway, okay. Right button. And save. So because Microsoft just recently released this for Xbox, that's why it's been obviously you can see that it's gotten some improvements for the Xbox controller. Yeah, let's take a look. Do the fields look different? I feel like they do actually. They do, right? Is it choppy? Oh, I wonder why it's choppy. 1 second. Graphics. Clarity, terrain level of detail. We're gonna drop this down, and we're gonna drop down super sampling, and that should help. I'm gonna turn off bloom because I hate bloom. I'm gonna turn off flare. No cockpit. Okay, there we go. Let's see how this goes. Okay. How's this? Better? It looks better from where I'm looking at OBS. Excellent. Okay. So now we're going to fly over Tokyo from the east. So that means we're flying westwards, I think. Yes, west southwest. What is this? Oh, thank you. What is this? Oh, okay. Oh, that's cute. Okay. Oh, I want to look at my map. The map. Excuse me. Oh, there we go. Okay. Isolines, GPS tracking. Don't need isolines. So we're going to go this way. We're going to go fly over central Tokyo, and we're going to look at... Hi there, Sidewinder, my friend. And we're going to look at Japan again over with the actual update that I didn't load for the past 3 months. Yes, just to catch everyone up who wasn't here, or for everyone who wasn't here at the very beginning. So it turns out Microsoft released an update for Japan for like the terrain, the 3-dimensional terrain and all of that, with better maps. And in my confusion, I thought that it would be applied automatically. turns out that wasn't the case. And so apparently all of the maps that we were flying on for the past, I don't know, like half a year were all like the original maps that the original game came in. So we were flying on bad maps, and so our sponsor, who originally sponsored all of those flying and talking streams, was playfully demanding his money back. And so I decided, you know what, instead of giving him his money back, we're just gonna fly over Tokyo again to make him happy. And then it turns out he's actually unable to join us for our stream tonight. Just that's just my life in a nutshell, really. Yes, exactly. It's just one tragedy after another. Comical tragedy of eras, exactly. I wonder what the difference in color really represents. Well, I mean, he'll probably watch this later. Knowing him, he's bored enough at work that occasionally he will message me at 3 a.m. in the morning and talk about how I made fun of, you know, like I made fun of this company that he really liked, or there's something on the stream. So who knows, man. The change in color, yes, I was just thinking about that. See, obviously these are the differences between old and new maps, right? Like this map is obviously done in the middle of summer. This color scheme suggests autumn. I have no idea what that is. That might have been a map that was taken, I think, probably at sunset. So it's definitely not a soil issue, right? Because you can see the line very clearly as it sort of just like creates this little block here. So it's definitely not a soil issue. Neither is this really. Like so like you know how they do this. These guys, or well, I mean these guys. At least with Bing Maps, well, I mean all of them, all of the satellite maps really. They take, I don't know, 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer shots or some. I don't know what resolution Bing Maps works on, but the one that I had worked with in the past was 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer, and then they all get stitched together via AI later. And so what that means is really like there is. It depends on what data you have available and what satellite was there, right? Because this could be even this, right? This red and this green could have been the same, could have been at the same time, but from 2 different satellites. You never know. Of course, why didn't Microsoft correct for the color? I don't know, right? Because they claimed that they went over all of Japan with like in a very fine method. So I would have expected that they could, but I guess not. But it's all good. It's all good. It looks alright from like really high up, but when you actually zoom in and you look, you see like there's 2 buildings when there should be like 7. These buildings, who knows, man, right? Like you can clearly see what is the map and what was added just via algorithm afterwards, and that doesn't look very good. Right? Like if you look, if we peer closely at these buildings, actually, good point. Why don't we just go down? Let's go down. But we don't want to go. Oh, we don't want to go too quickly. Let's cut engine power instead. That's a good question. And so why don't we want to go too quickly, and why we should cut engine power instead? Because an airplane is essentially a momentum-based machine, right? Does that make sense? It relies it relies on inertia to fly. So if you change direction really, really quickly, what happens is the airframe actually doesn't tolerate that kind of a change in direction, and you're just going to break the aircraft. Remember, we've broken quite a few airframes just doing this already. So, and you saw before when I did like a dive like this, if you look in the bottom left, see how we're going into the yellow and then into the red zone? That's exactly that. It's a warning that, you know, like we're putting too much stress on the airframe. And it doesn't have to be with airspeed either, right? Like sometimes we just turn too hard and we can have the same thing happen. Anyway, let's move further down. Like a slight dive like this should be alright. But like if you look on the bottom right, you can see our vertical speed. And obviously, like our vertical speed is not, it's how quickly we're moving up and down, right? But it also does translate into airspeed, because you know if you're pointing down and you're going down at the same rate that you are, how do I say, in the same direction. Like your aircraft's nose is pointed in the same direction as you're falling, then of course you'll have trouble. Oh, that looks very nice though. Like from here, this looks nice. Is it getting laggy? Yeah. Okay, give me a second. I'll just turn down something. Let's render at 75%. That should be enough. Yeah. So rendering at 75% means I'm no longer rendering at 4K resolution. I'm now rendering at essentially 3K resolution, right? So that means the GPU itself has to only do 75% of the work to get, because it only needs to account for 75% of the pixels. And so that's why, like before when it was choppy, it was because my GPU was unable to keep up with the amount of work that I've been sending it. So by sending it less work, we make it a little bit easier for it to keep up. I can still see on my OBS window actually that depending on how I move the aircraft, it still gets a little bit choppy, but it should be okay for you guys, right? Can we just have a confirmation? Yeah, okay. Excellent. Oh, we're about to crash like that, and there was no way for me to change that. Oof. Well, so that's it. It's interesting because what happened was, I think I lost lift, and I don't know. I assume it was because I lost the ability. Pure War Thunder. Do you have that happen as well, where you just fly over a place where you just have no lift, and then like you just have no control over the aircraft? And remember, we talked about it before. An airplane is a momentum-based machine, so by the time you realize that you've lost lift, you saw that I put the engines to maximum, and nothing would happen because it takes a while for such for an aircraft to actually respond, right? For airspeed and lift to be regenerated. So when you lose it, it's just gone. It's just gone. I was too close to the ground, so I my fault, really. Yes. Didn't I literally just say that it was all my fault? I did. So, but that's fine. This time we're going to fly from the middle of nowhere, which means that we are actually, well, I mean, we're not actually in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, that sounds basically like something I did. So we're good. Um, our friend Sidewinder was just talking about his own experience, I guess, in War Thunder, right? Like flying too fast, do a dive, and then you try to pull the nose up, but it's just not gonna change. Like nobody's gonna nobody's going to respond, or rather, physics is not going to respond to you. Especially when you're close to the ground, especially if you have too much vertical, like downward speed, like the. Why are you insisting on going that way? I'm so confused. Yeah, especially while you're going downwards, it's man, gravity always has a right of way, man. That's what I learned from this. But I should say that it does feel like the quality of the city is better, right? Like not only the quality of the city, but when we were loading in, you saw that there were more points of interest in Tokyo, which I assume means that we're now running on the latest version. Yeah, exactly. Like the point I'm laboriously trying to get to is exactly that I think this looks good today. Like those buildings are casting a shadow. Okay, excellent. These small individual Japanese houses do look like the roofs of small individual Japanese houses and not just like blocks. I wonder though why there's a single block in the middle of nowhere. That seems. Is that really how that area looks? Like a whole bunch of small houses and just two office towers? I mean, it could potentially. I've never been to this part of Tokyo, so I would have no idea. But it looks legit from here. Yeah, we're going downtown, don't worry. It's over there. Coincidentally, you can see that they're trying to approximate some of those buildings as triangles. And that's actually hilarious to me. It's just yeah, it's just one of those methods where game designers try to save themselves some resources. So because you know, like having to draw an entire building is difficult, right? Like each of the individual windows need to be like each of those little triangles needs to have a call to a GPU. Well, okay, I say triangles because modern GPUs draw. Usually, it's about triangles because you can theoretically in a mesh, in a 3D mesh, you can make everything out of triangles. So, like, essentially by making their GPU exceptionally good at doing triangles, that allows you to make the most out of the hardware that you can. And so software then, or middleware, strictly speaking, is built on making maximum use of triangles. Yes, it's all about triangles. But the point is, and therefore when it's really far away, sometimes they'll just draw a single triangle as sort of a stand-in for the building. And so I thought I saw some that were being drawn as single triangles, but now I don't see them anymore. That's alright. Why are we losing lift again? I wonder if it's because we're in Tokyo and so therefore. Oh, Tokyo Skytree looks amazing. Actually, I just want to stop and talk about Tokyo Skytree because it's beautiful. Look at that. Oh, it's much more beautiful than Tokyo Tower, which is over there. Well, we can go to Tokyo Tower. I'm just like Skytree is new, right? So, well, I mean, new, quote unquote. It's what? I think it was built the same year as the Eastern Japan earthquake, something like that. So it's been 10 years, but still, like for Japan, it's quite new. Yeah, like almost all buildings you see down here are 20, 30 years old. Just because that's sort of when the country was at its prime, right? Where's Tokyo Tower? There. Yes. We're going in there now. Look at these buildings. They look much better than before, I feel like. Right? I remember we came to National Dai Building and then Yoyogi National Stadium last time. And it didn't look quite this good. Because this looks amazing. But of course, this is a Japanese update, right? This update is all about Japan. It's got nothing to do with the rest of the world. They've done some for the rest of the world now, but like, obviously not Hong Kong. Those bastards. Yes, I know. No, this is no. I don't mind. I just wish they didn't push an update that broke it, right? Because Hong Kong actually looked really good before already, but then they pushed an update that really just broke it, and that's what upsets me. Like, don't do regressive updates, right? Especially in such a beautiful city like Hong Kong. I feel like flight simulators really need to like use Hong Kong as what am I saying? As a standard QA test, because it's got mountains, it's got a whole bunch of urban environment, it's got a whole bunch of elevation. So, and because it's got all of that elevation, you can actually use it to test things like your wind physics and the fluid dynamics. Also, yes, Tokyo Tower, we're just looking at it, doing a little circle. And then we're going to Yoyogi National Stadium, which is over there, yes. But yeah, like, if they did, then they would know that their update broke Hong Kong and my heart. Well, no, it didn't break my heart, obviously. We're using throttle control, yes. Yes. So essentially remember I talked a little bit before about how an aircraft is a momentum-based machine, right? So if I'm making it go a little bit faster with the same kind of wing angle, like trim and all of that, I can, if I go faster, it goes higher. If I go slower, it lowers itself. And it does it all while maintaining the same, like, I don't know the actual term, but essentially like the same angle between itself and the ground. And that's what we want. Well, I mean, to an extent. You still have to do some controls with it. But yeah, to an extent it does that. And so I can just simply use my use the speed to determine how high or how low I want to go. Like, for example, right now, because we're turning, we're actually losing height, and so we actually do have to compensate for that just a little bit, like I did there. Except the camera. Ignore the camera. So that's Yoyogi National Stadium, and that does look better. That absolutely does look better. So we are definitely. I owe an apology to our sponsor. Sorry, bro. And look at that. The roads even look like they have cars on them, and the cars even look like they belong on the roads. That's such a rare thing in this modern society. Doesn't that look photorealistic? That actually really does look very nice. I gotta admit that looks very nice. Like, say I just leave the camera like this. Doesn't that look nice? Yes, I do wish Hong Kong were like this. Yes, I would spend a long time just flying there. I'm the dude that used to use Google Maps, Google Earth as like low budget flight simulator in Hong Kong. I would, yeah, because Google Earth has decent 3Difying of the terrain, so it actually doesn't look too bad. Yeah. And then like it doesn't actually change anything, right? Like all it really did was give you an angle that made it look like you were in a plane, and then they would give you like this like cockpit view that made it feel like that you were inside the cockpit, and then you would just like you could even attach a controller, and then so I did. I attached my controller and just flew around Hong Kong in Google Earth. Well, it's quite fun. I would argue, because there are a lot of very interesting things you start noticing about a city if you're flying above it. Well, if you fly above it for long enough, I guess. Excuse me. Well, actually, that's a good point. Actually, let us stop right here, because I just want to point something out. Notice how there's a line right here. You see that line? That demarcation between tall buildings and low rise, not even low rises, and just like, and you can see that, and so you can see where the Tokyo metropolitan area begins and ends. Well, I should clarify where the city where the bureaucratic jurisdictions exist, right? Like, look at that. Isn't that amazing? This is actually the first time I've noticed this. And serendipitously, exactly when we were talking about flying over a city and noticing interesting effects. And so I assume that's a big road. Yes, it is. And so that's what I mean, right? Like by flying over a city like this, you start to notice very interesting things about it. And I mean, I use that to relax. So, shoot me. I don't care. Yes, I relax by thinking about bureaucracy. That is actually not a bad way of putting it. Interestingly enough, since you guys are on this topic, technically, heaven in Confucian sort of like Chinese, I guess, superstition and faux religion that is Confucianism, heaven is defined as the celestial bureaucracy. Well, okay, that's not strictly true. It's an embodiment of the earthly, when there were dynasties, the bureaucracy would be concentrated in the capital. You would have the different departments, etc., etc., etc. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Oof, look at the graphics. Look at the graphics. Wow, that's beautiful. Let's make it rain. Sorry, yes, I was just so because it was known as the celestial bureaucracy, it was actually very much let's lower the precipitation just a little. Aerosol density. Less aerosol density. Slightly more precipitation. No, I don't want live weather. My bad. Wait, what? I got this. I got this. Relax. So we'll lower that just. Okay. Okay. So celestial bureaucracy. Yeah, it was a representation of how the emperors would run the entire country, run the empire, so to speak. And so they did it via. Oh, that's interesting. Do you notice the color difference? So between here and the color difference with there, that suggests, again, as we were talking about before, two different maps, right? Two completely different types of maps. Also, we're out of the rain already. Oh. Okay. Okay. Celestial bureaucracy. Yes. And so it's like a copy or the Platonic ideal of an emperor, of I guess an emperor that never dies. Well, we have a name for him. I'm not gonna bring it up. And the bureaucracy that sort of runs heaven and I guess all of creation. And that is mostly what heaven is about. Just bureaucracy. And we got on this topic because I was talking about the fact that yes, for relaxation I tend to do weird bureaucratic things. And I just want to point out, look, again, you can still see this very clear demarcation, right, between the low rise on this side of the street and the high rise on the other. And that seems to continue in this direction as well. Heading into. I wonder why it was wrong. Doesn't matter. Yeah, look at yeah. Look into the city, right? Like that rain cloud is great. I do have a decent graphics card. Well, decent today. It was the best that existed when I bought it. It is a 2080 Ti. So yeah, it was the best in the world until the NVIDIA 3090 came out earlier this year, late last year. Oh right, yeah, because I bought it in 2019, right? So I mean, I'm not gonna change it. It's doing just fine. Look, it's rendering Tokyo. It's rendering the rain. It's Look at these. Look at that. Right? Like that's rain that's falling, and that's rain that's not falling here. And look at that. The topic of heaven. Let me backtrack then. I was talking about the fact that for relaxation, I would sometimes fly around Hong Kong, and like if you fly around there often enough, you'll start to notice how the city is run and how bureaucracy is like how it can demonstrate sort of what bureaucratic decisions were made. And I was made fun of for doing bureaucracy in my for being a bureaucracy nerd. Well, when I'm relaxing, so I talked about heaven. I guess let's call it just in Confucian semi-religion that exists in China. Heaven is sort of called the celestial bureaucracy because it is a representation of the divine, the Jade Emperor running the celestial bureaucracy. Look at the rainbow. Don't clip that. Look at the rainbow. Anyway, the Jade Emperor running the celestial bureaucracy. They even did the double rainbow. I certainly. I know none of you will clip this, so I'm fine. But anyway, the point was, the celestial bureaucracy in Confucian religious lore is considered is the name for heaven, And so that's why we got round to the topic of heaven. That rainbow is very good. That is very nice. They did do a whole bunch of updates to the game, so it is running much better than before. But of course, we can't see anything here. I'm gonna take away the rain now. There we go. Oh, there's some clouds in the sky. Excellent. And this is live weather. So, like, obviously, it doesn't mean that at this exact moment there is some fog hovering over the National Diet Building. Only that, you know, like, Tokyo is partly cloudy. Look like a dartboard? Oh, you mean the rainbow? Yes. Metropolitan Government Building. Oh, welcome back, my friend. Are you actually with us now? Oh, okay. So okay. So just to catch you up, I guess, since you're the one that this was meant for. Yes, we made a boo-boo. Yes, Tokyo does look better. Yes, I'm a clot. I admit it. But here we go. Now we're flying around Tokyo. You can watch the rest of the video later. There's nothing interesting. I don't present any investment advice. Actually, no, let's talk about that, actually, because that is actually a really interesting thing that you just brought up. Tesla, or we should say Elon, I don't know if it was in a tweet or if it was in some sort of communique, but the point is he told the Indian government that if he were allowed to import some Teslas, that it would induce him to create a Tesla factory in India. And that's always interesting to me when business owners try to go. I mean, because technically this is politics, right? Like, you are meddling in politics, and so the idea is, would you meddle in politics for just profit, right? And is there enough profit there that makes it interesting enough for him to meddle in, or is he just, you know, tweeting? And no, this is not investment advice. Again, I don't know why you would think so. No, we're not talking about. No, not investment advice. Come on. Having said that, even though it's not investment advice, you can see why him having done so now, like having publicized this, that the moment the Indian government decides to allow an import of Tesla, that suddenly all analysts will go mad, right? And that's the point I wanted to talk about. That our friend Elon is a very good showman and has a nice instinct for driving up the value of his own things. Yeah, exactly. I mean, some of you are analysts. You know what your lot thinks like. And so the fact that he has said it now suddenly means that if the Indian government decides that it's going to allow imports of Tesla, that the banking world, the financial sector, will just think that the next logical step would be to create a factory in India. And if we're completely honest, these days I don't think they are they're very clear viewed on what Tesla is, right? Because and it's not really their fault. It's like Tesla was, if anything, Tesla was the first meme stock, right? Because it was bought on the strength of Elon Musk's Twitter account. It is. Absolutely. Tesla stock, like Tesla does well when Elon does well, and Elon does well when he does well on Twitter. That's I think fairly understandable. It's fairly simple to see. Yes, Tesla did beat its own records, and is now revenue positive, or even profitable, even. But that means so what? So what? Like, oh, hello? Did we just into a thunderstorm? Okay. Oh, right. Yes, the typhoon is on, isn't it? Yes. How did I forget? Yeah, Typhoon 8 is running in the middle of eastern Japan right now, I believe. It is the 28th, right? Yes. It is morning of the 28th. So, yeah, Typhoon, it should have just started hitting Japan. I wonder if we can see it. I'm going to go back into the main menu, just so to see if we can see it. If we can, maybe we should try to chase the hurricane. Right? Yeah, that would be fun. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, you see? It's right there. You can see the hurricane, right? You can clearly see that that's a cyclical thing. And Sendai, Fukushima is up down here. No, up here. Up here. So yeah, we should go no, down here. My bad. I'm not very good. Well, to be fair, I've never been there, so let's start in Sendai and see what the conditions are. Maybe. Do you mean the being able to see the hurricane? We're gonna take a slightly more robust aircraft. Yeah. Actually, no, the CJ4. Yeah, we're gonna take a slightly more robust aircraft, just so. Yeah, I find that really cool as well. People have used this to chase storms, and I think that's very neat, right? Like the ability to do so, and so it's cool. And so now we're gonna be storm chasers. I hope you guys are happy. Yes. Not treasure seekers, storm chasers. That's right. And the hope that you're happy. With all my heart, I hope that you are happy. All right? Seriously, we don't want to do treasure seeking. Also, where's the storm? That doesn't look right. Is this live? What? Wait, what? Oh, there we go. There. Oh. Yes, we're now live weather, and so therefore we can't see anything. Do I have a map? I do have a map in here, so I'm just gonna take a look at that map real quick. Actually, you know what? We're just gonna go outside and use the VFR map. I have no idea where the storm is. Well, I mean, besides the fact that like we're in it right now. Let's go to Sendai though, which is I think over there. Sendai is is a location. I'm gonna point the plane over there. I'm gonna fly towards that marker that's sitting in the distance, and hope that that's Sendai. We're also going to lower the engine speed just a little bit. Trim down a little bit more, actually. Down just a little bit more. Holy crap, we're still going up. There we go. Negative 18 trim. Let's bring that down to 15. And then we're just gonna... I have no idea where we're going, honestly. Oh, that's Matsushima. Matsushima, okay. Matsushima. That's not Sendai. And we are way above. Pretty sure the airspace is actually shut off right now. I have no idea where we are. Let's see. So we're still on land. That's good. Oh, that's Matsushima. Oh, we just passed Sendai, I guess. This was where Sendai is, and then Fukushima is down here, I think. Yeah, that looks about right. The first we know when where the ground is when we hit it. Yes, that's why we have altitude indicators, right? That's why this thing exists down here. I like how the water doesn't even look that choppy. Well, that's actually because they didn't really invest in water physics, and to be fair, it's probably easier not to invest in water physics, right? Oh, that's a good call. Let's do that. So, wait, what? Oops. Really? I just pulled up a little bit. Okay. But anyway, the call was for us to go above the storm and try to look at the storm from above. I'm fairly certain we can. I think my height ceiling in this is something... something. I don't remember what it was. But we're definitely going to try to climb. And we're gonna... oh wait, we're not climbing anymore. Climb. Climb. There you go. There you go. There you go. Keep it at about 3,000. Bring trim down to 6%. Up to 3. Climb. Oh, even airspeed is going up, even as we're climbing. Let's lower the engines just a little bit. I have no idea where we are. Like, all I know is that we're climbing quite quickly. Oh, too fast. This is... I assume it's finicky because the airplanes themselves... oh, look, we're almost above. Nice. Sweet. Yeah, I assume it's finicky because it's just... oh, that is beautiful. That is absolutely breathtaking. Let's go see how much higher we can go. I don't think we can go much higher. If we could, that would be amazing. Like, I'm sure their wings will start freezing and all of that good stuff, but you know, like, that's why we do it in a video game and don't do it in real life. We're at maximum. I don't actually know how to enter Sloom, if I'm honest. But that's okay. We're above the clouds. And just for reference, you can see the depth of. I actually don't think there is Sloom. Actually, let me double check. Oh. My bad. Okay. And then nice. Yay. I'm trying to enter slew mode, and I think I set myself some bad hotkeys. And since we are just about done for today's broadcast, I'm just gonna leave it for today. We're gonna do it another day. But hi. No, there we go. Doesn't it look like a completely different kind of scenery? And it's supposed to. Right? Yeah. So we're gonna turn around and look at the center of the storm. That was the whole point of this. Just a little bit. Almost there. Relax. We need to trim up just a little bit. Because the moment we start diving downwards, we're going to gain a lot of airspeed and stress the frames. And so by trimming up, I'm sort of helping it keep itself keep the Z speed going further northwards. That's a little bit too much. 21. Excellent. We can't see. Yeah. We should be able to see something. Like if you look over there, you can see that the storm itself is breaking up in that end. I think. Yeah. And then I think the cloud is breaking in that direction. So if you guys remember when we had the satellite view, that it was very clearly a swirl with a lot of very dense cloud in the center, which is what we're on top of right now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're on top of it right now. Isn't that cool? And then yeah, as we go sort of further southwest, it clears up, and by the time we get to Tokyo, it should be a lot better. Yeah, exactly. Same thing. Yeah, hurricanes, typhoons, same thing. It's all just one gigantic swirl, right? You can think of it as a hyper powerful tornado that is stretched out over hundreds of kilometers. That's a good question. Question was, can we detonate a nuke to stop a hurricane? No. The answer is no. not just because of nuclear fallout. It's that the amount of power that's contained in a hurricane is just more. It's just more. Like there's no way we can get around that. Like hurricanes are just dramatically more powerful than atomic weapons. Yeah. Well, I mean, of course, we're not sure what modern day atomic weapons are like, because we only have everyone's word for it. But if you try to detonate a World War II era bomb, or just early Cold War era bomb in the middle of this, nothing's gonna happen. Like you're not going to stop the winds, because the winds are built up over weeks and months of solar, like the amount of molecules that are moving in a hurricane is orders of magnitude more than you could move with a nuclear explosion. Yeah. And so that's why you can't, right? Like just from sheer mass, from a perspective of mass, you cannot possibly use a, because if you wanted to disrupt a hurricane, what you would have to do is to disrupt its spinning. You would have to stop it from spinning, and the only way you can do that is put something in the way of it. And so that's why, like you will hear suggestions like, can we detonate a nuclear bomb? The answer is again no, just because you just don't have enough energy, right? I don't know what else to say to that. Well, yeah. I mean, I could do a calculation, but it would take longer than we have. So I can do it offline afterwards if that's what you were interested in. Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, I'll do it on Discord. It's fine. The point remains that it's just simply, it's unreasonable to try to stop a hurricane. It would be easier to literally move every building in the way, in a danger zone, because that's what the hurricane's going to do anyway, right? yeah. And so we're seeing it clear off. You can see that there's less cloud coverage there, and that it all builds to the central area here. And so this stuff is stuff that's getting pulled along by the circulating air inside, right? Like the air is circulating inside this gigantic hurricane. You can see this part of the clouds of the hurricane trying to. Yeah, 50 megatons is not enough to stop a hurricane. Actually, let me check real quick, since hurricane energy. No, I don't want the company. How much energy in a hurricane? There we go. Terawatts. HowStuffWorks.com. Excellent. Through formation of clouds, so we get 6.0 times 10 to the 14th watts. And I think, let's just double check. 50 megatons in watts. 50 megatons is 2 times 10 to the 17th. Oh, interesting. Am I just completely wrong? No, that's watt seconds. So then we would need to divide it by however long the hurricane is. Actually, let's just do it in joules. yeah, 2 times 10 to the 17th joules. And a hurricane is, according to howstuffworks.com, 5 times 10 to the 19 joules per day. So what that really means is every day a hurricane releases, simply in terms of clouds and rain, 100 times more than a 50 megaton hydrogen bomb. Right, so you would need to detonate 100 of them to have a hope of stopping this. Of course, yeah. If you go for the 50 megaton stuff, we have no idea how powerful the biggest ones that we have are. Actually, we probably have a good idea. I'm not interested in finding out. No, it's okay. Please don't find out. I really don't care enough. Thank you very much. All right. Okay, we're done here today. Thank you a lot very much for watching. In conclusion, we've figured out that Japan looks prettier, and so we will unfortunately have to come back to make up for not having come here. Not make up for my inability to do things before. Bye, Sidewinder, my friend. Thank you for joining us today. And for you lot in the Discord, I guess I'll talk to you right after this. But in conclusion, then please download Firefox, don't do Chrome. And no, you can't. Now everyone's gonna think I'm a weirdo for laughing at something that I'm not allowed to talk about. Well, no, you're right. Everyone thinks I am already anyway. All right. That's it. All right. Yes, download Firefox, don't do Chrome. Bye.